Huge thanks to my supporters on Patreon who've funded this podcast and a second podcast experiment of mine called Engineering Word of the Day. Check it out on iTunes, and more on that at the end of the show. If you like what I'm doing, please help me out by donating on patreon.com/Pius Labs. That's PIOSLABS. It's May 22nd, 2017, and this is the K-12 Engineering Education Podcast. Hey, are you looking for some movie or TV suggestions to inspire yourself or others in engineering? Listen to today's podcast. The three of us got back together to discuss our top picks. I am Pius Wong.
I'm Sadhan Satyasilan.
And I'm Rachel Farrig.
We are here for the K-12 Engineering Education Podcast once again, and we are in a local cafe here in Austin. So please pardon our noise for a little bit. We're going to talk about movies and TV and media that have inspired you in engineering, or if you think they can inspire others in engineering.
Oh, okay, good, because I'm not an engineer.
Is it only about engineering or also science?
Wait, what was that?
Is it just engineering or also science?
I would say both, but I want to focus on engineering.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's do it.
We can do that.
Why did you ask that question? So then,
I don't know. We have sci-fis, so which is like a more wider, number of movies that we can talk about. Versus engineering is kind of like narrow, but we can still talk about it. There's like if it's sci-fi, then there is a lot of engineering.
But isn't sci-fi a lot of engineering? So I think about, not to be super nerdy, but hello, Star
that's a
Trek.
good point. Like,
isn't that engineering?
It's called science
It's
fiction.
way more engineering
It
than
should be
science.
STEM
we don't talk
fiction.
about microbiology in Star Trek. It's all engineering. That's why you have a whole section of the ship devoted to what? What?
Engineering.
Okay, thank you.
Wait,
There we go.
but in Star Trek Voyager, there was a whole episode about the
I don't know anything
biomolecular power
Wait,
cells.
I don't. Voyager is like no.
All right, so we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Right. Yeah. A simple example why it is important to differentiate between science and engineering.
Yeah.
And I want to give an example for it too.
Educate us.
Okay, the movie Matrix. Okay.
Yes.
It's an amazing sci-fi movie.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you take the engineering part of it, they were using humans as batteries. That's the worst thing you can do. That's like the biggest, stupidest, inefficient.
Oh, I think it's
So
brilliant.
it's not. Well, in this case,
So is that?
no, I agree.
Right
Well, wait. So I would say it didn't inspire me to do that, but it
No.
makes you think about what not to do. I think that's
Ethics.
the cool thing.
I can get behind
Right.
it. I can get behind
There's
it.
so much stuff in movies and TV that I think teaches you stuff because you know what not to
Right.
do.
Okay. That I can get behind that.
All right.
All right.
So on that vein, I wanted to talk about a few things.
Okay.
There was a movie that we spoke about in a previous episode. It came out like last Christmas called Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it.
You haven't
so-
seen it? Have
no.
you seen it? No one's seen it?
No, shamefully,
Oh, that's all right.
I have not.
Well-
I'm a woman who works in STEM and had a science major, and I haven't seen this movie, and I'm ashamed of
Well,
myself.
I'm not shaming you for not watching it. I'm just bringing it up. We don't have to talk about it for
I
too
have
long.
a small premise of it. I know it's about NASA. There was and they were mistreated. That's pretty much what I know.
So the movie is about these three women, black women, African American women, around the early days of NASA, back when there was segregation and women were not held.
Plenty of people just weren't getting higher education at the time anyway, and there are still so many systemic barriers for persons of color as far as higher education goes. But these were women who were achieving higher education, multiple advanced degrees.
Yes.
While the civil rights movement, or prior to the civil rights movement even, was taking place. So they overcame
Wait, this was
odds
happening
that are not
during
even...
civil rights?
Right.
They were working during the civil rights movement,
Okay,
so
Yeah.
they
got it,
already
got it.
had
Yeah,
their
right,
education.
Okay. Got it, yeah.
So this was pre-Brown v. Board, this was pre-national
Yes.
integration, and they had multiple advanced degrees. They were engineers, they were advanced scientists, they were advanced mathematicians, and they had been hired by NASA.
Yeah.
But they weren't taken seriously,
So,
and they were literally kept hidden in a back room
Hence
to
the
crunch
name.
the numbers.
I had no idea.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
I thought something to do with numbers. Like
No, but it's
algebra.
both. That's the
Hidden
double
figures.
meaning.
They
There
are
we go.
literally hidden figures.
Whoever
yes.
named that movie, they named it right. Yeah. So the spoiler alert is that yes, they were not taken seriously.
Sorry, hope
They-
I didn't ruin it for
No,
anyone.
no. There was segregation in the past. That was a fact, and so they touch on that. For example, the women had their own segregated areas to work in. The black women had their own segregated areas to work in, separate from the
Separately
white
from
women.
the other women.
So it was like a very, to me, a strange thing to see because I did not grow up in that type of environment. But it was very eye-opening to witness, and the storytelling I thought was really moving. And so there's a certain scene in it, and if you watch it, where I was like, "Oh my God, that's awful," and it makes you.
I think I've heard about that scene.
Yes.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not spoiling it for anyone.
No, but I will say that Taraji P. Henson is a good actress.
Yes.
She played the mathematician, which you often see in the trailer, who was basically really, really genius in doing these calculations. She was literally a computer. That was her job, and that's what their job really was back in the day.
Oh yeah.
To do all these like trigonometric
Complex,
complication.
yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Calculations.
calculations. So in any case, it's a feel good movie, and I think that it's a good story to be told. And I was so interested in it afterward that I looked up what are the real stories here. Turns out that this is based on a true story. So they did take the separate stories of three women and mashed it together. So it is a retelling. It is fiction, but there's definite truth in it. And I think that it really spoke to anyone who has faced some kind of adversity to try and achieve something that you want to do, especially if it's in engineering.
Well, and I think about some of our past work where we have specifically had a focus on diversifying and becoming more inclusive for the face of engineering participation. And we know that particularly for women and particularly for persons of color, they're far more likely to engage in an activity or continue an educational process when they see people who look like themselves. So when young African American women watch this movie and they see women who look just like me have been accomplishing stuff, shall we say, for decades, and I just didn't know about it, they're likely far more inspired to not only explore that realm, but to stick with it, to engage in it, to invest in it, and even to involve their friends and others like them in it. And that's really important.
Rachel, that's a great point. There really is research backing all that up, that representation is important. And I will say that me having watched that movie, I think that I am not an African-American woman, but I do but I like
Right,
STEM. I like math. I love math, actually. I love engineering and creating stuff. And I feel like anyone, and this is basically everyone, anyone who has ever felt like they were maybe the underdog, and this is the underdog to the extreme, it's like excruciating actually to watch. It gives you a new appreciation for that. And it's almost like, okay, if they could get through that, then you know what? I can get through
Maybe I can try
the
this
mediocre
out.
stuff that
Yeah.
I'm going through.
Okay, this movie reminds me very of the other movie where okay, what's the guy who played Benedict Cumberbatch? Is that what's the name?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes,
Which movie?
The mathematician Alan Turing.
Oh, I didn't see that movie. What movie was that?
I can't remember.
But yeah,
Imitation Game. I think it's Imitation Game. It's so he was pretty much the same thing. He was like very mistreated.
Because he was gay.
Because he was gay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Imitation Game. The premise is there's a puzzle that happened during the World War, where they're communicating through these machines called Enigma that has a 1 in a million chances of getting right, and it'll reset itself every 24 hours, something like that. So he has to crack that. So he builds a machine for that, and he's mistreated because he's gay. And I think they did not recognize him for a long time.
Right.
But, he was recognized much later. The Turing test is a famous test. There was another movie about it. It's called Ex Machina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's about a robot, an artificial intelligence that this guy built, and in order to pass that test of this is a complete artificial intelligence.
Sure.
It needs to pass a test called Turing test, where it interacts with a regular human being.
Yes.
And the human being cannot differentiate between so
Precisely.
in
It
honoring
doesn't
his-
know that it's artificial
Yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's a pretty cool movie too. If you
I haven't seen
watched,
it, but I've
watched
read about
it's, no, it's an amazing film.
Does
Is
it make
it?
you want to code?
Well, it makes me want to build robots.
Really? But there are all those movies. Speaking of movies that teach a bad thing, there's so many killer robots in movies. Why are we obsessed with killer robots?
No, there are even video games. So my son, who is 7, is obsessed right now.
What game?
He can't have the game because he's only 7, but there's a soundtrack for this game called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
and it's about
yes.
killer robots. Who? What? Anyway,
But
that's
it's a
sidebar.
cartoony game. I know that game.
Well, yeah, it's a
I don't know
pop-up
what the game
cartoony, scare the poopy out
Yes,
of you
it's a
game.
horror game.
It's absolutely inappropriate for a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, and this is completely unrelated, the soundtrack, pretty good, pretty poppin'. I mean, it's punk. It's all right. You should
Nice.
check it out. That's a separate
All right.
podcast.
No, that's okay. But yes, I think that
Don't build killer robots.
Killer robots
Sadhan. No
are-
killer
That's not
robots.
my- yeah.
Okay.
no.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I feel like you watch these movies with killer robots, and it never inspired me to make robots.
Well, think about
it's just
Terminator,
like
though.
Yeah, Terminator.
Yeah.
Did it
We all went to
did it make you?
Terminator.
I was
Isn't
thinking.
that
I was just
amazing?
It's the coolest robot.
Does it make you want to make the liquid one or the original Arnold
No, the
Schwarzenegger one?
Arnold Schwarzenegger one, because he has that bad streak in him, but he ends up understanding because he has built artificial intelligence.
He's turned
Somehow he's
good.
learned over time
Oh, gosh.
that there's a protective thing that has to go on, and you can use your strength in your programming. It's like the dark side going to the light side. I don't know.
That's if you follow all the movies, because the very first movie he just tried to kill him.
Well,
Yeah.
aren't you supposed to watch the whole series?
I guess so. Yeah.
Well, don't watch the whole series because after 2 it's bad. But
Right. I really liked the liquid metal
Right, from
evil
engineering
Terminator
Well, that's
from
really cool.
yeah, from
from an
Terminator
engineering
2.
perspective,
But
I
it's
would prefer
really
that.
bad.
Yeah.
Pretty,
yeah,
pretty
I'm-
evil.
I guess it's a warning of the future.
That's
say something?
meta.
No, I'm saying if Arnold could have that ability, then that's the coolest thing again.
So you would want an upgraded yet kind model. Is that?
Like
Yes.
in the movie Big Hero 6. Have you seen that?
I
I
love
have,
Big
yes,
Hero.
yes.
You have?
6.
It's that
Again,
Disney movie, if no one's
yes.
seen it.
Oh,
A couple years ago, I forget when, but it's
3 or 4 years old.
yes, not based on a true story,
No,
but
it
science
could be.
fiction,
It's really
engineering
It's an
fiction.
It's an animated movie.
Animated
Okay.
Pixar movie. Yes, San Francisco. It's a San Francisco Tokyo mashup.
Yes.
Oh.
And there's that kid who is Hero. Yes, in case
Oh,
we didn't
famous
know
Hero.
if he's the protagonist or not. Hero, who is like half Japanese. That's why his name's Hero. He has an older brother who is in the.
Takashi? No.
Yeah,
is that his
Takashi. No, you're right.
brother's
We're
name?
No, really?
spoiling everything. Okay, without
I
spoiling
may
everything.
or may not have seen this movie more than one time.
It's a very cute movie with like smart kids,
Yes.
multiple kids, a diverse cast of kids who do lots of cool stuff
True, that's
my
in
true.
engineering and
I never
science.
thought about
Such
that
amazing
movie.
things.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I thought it was
super
pretty
inspiring.
It was sad. too.
Oh yeah,
It was touching.
the sad part is really sad, and if you're a parent, I'm just saying the sad part is really, really sad. But it works out well in the end.
Yeah.
And the engineering things that they do in there are super cool. And what's funny is some of them are far-fetched.
Some of them are, but some of them are realistic. They're coming out today,
yes.
like the little nanobots in there.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I remember it for. Yeah, the magnetic thing that attaches.
It's coming
that
out.
was
And
pretty cool.
kids want those, and they want to play with those. They're hitting kids' Christmas lists, and it's pretty amazing.
I would put that on my top list as well of things that kids should see of a certain
Yeah.
age.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
Terminator
Lego.
when you get older, but
Lego with artificial intelligence.
yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Legos, what did you think of the Lego movies?
Everybody loved the Lego movie.
I didn't see the latest
first
one,
one was
but
good.
the first one
Everything
was
is
really good.
awesome.
Yes,
Everything
it did make me
is
want
cool when
to.
you're part of a team.
I'm a branding zombie here, but I do like Legos, and I did want to play with Legos more after watching that.
Of course you did.
Yes. So, Southern, I heard that one of your favorite movies is called Interstellar.
It is, indeed.
Can you tell me about that?
Of course I can talk about
And
that.
Rachel's laughing a bit.
I'm only laughing because anyone who has known Sadhan for more than about 8.5 minutes knows without a doubt that Interstellar is absolutely his number one favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, that's how I filter people off. It's like, have you watched Interstellar? No, I'm done with you.
No.
Wow.
Have you ever seen Interstellar? No? Bye.
Yeah, that's how the conversation goes. But yeah, I have watched that
So,
film. It's
brief
an amazing
summary,
film.
yeah.
Brief summary.
Without spoiling too much. What
Brief.
is it about?
Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna spoil anything, but if you haven't watched it, it's a must-see film, and it's a film that you should show your kids too. So this is a movie that's based on hard science. It's a hard science film, but it also has a lot of human aspect in the film. It's a really must-see. I would compare it to movies like Contact in the past,
Okay.
or 2001: Space Odyssey, in terms of its visualization, in terms of its thinking and everything. But essentially, from the engineering context of it, I wanted to bring this up for Interstellar, the design of those robots.
Ah, speaking of robots, yes.
Yes.
Well,
So
I remember that. That was cool.
Speaking of Legos and robots.
Yeah, describe the robot in this sci-fi movie.
Okay, so the unique thing that I felt was it was very minimalist. It's just like a giant cube of metal. That's
So,
what
like,
it was.
if Apple or Steve Jobs were to design the future robot, that's what it could have been.
No, I mean, if Apple designed it, it would be more shiny.
Oh, okay.
More
Yeah.
I see.
shiny.
Yeah, so I would say the closest thing I can come to describe the design of this bot is it's an engineer, mechanical engineer, designing the differential gear. If you if you do not know how a differential gear works, go online. There's a video that explains how it works. It's the most simplistic idea anybody can ever think of, and it revolutionized automobile industry. So it's that simplistic. It's a bare minimum. There's nothing more to it. It's just the bare minimum, and it achieves certain things. And I think that's the connection that I give to Interstellar, the robot in Interstellar. Not the artificial intelligence part, just the modular design of it. And I think it's a genius move in its engineering because it achieves certain tasks, but it doesn't have anything fancy in it. It's not like shiny.
So-
it's not like a.
The interesting thing, though, is I think I agree, it is minimalist when it's just sitting there, but it does more than just sit there.
Yes.
When it's mobile, it looks
It's-
very fancy.
yeah. Yes.
It is very fancy.
So yes, if nothing else, you can look out for that when watching the movie. And I think the beauty of movies like this, like past sci-fi movies, is it maybe inspires inventors to create something like it.
Sure.
Like I remember in Star Trek, they always had those electronic books
Yeah.
and tablets.
And now we walk around
and now
with
we have
tablets
them.
and
Think
they're
about it.
touchscreen.
Like it was made in what, the
Yes.
90s, and now we literally have that. So
Yes.
maybe we're gonna have this fancy
I
robot
can't
in the future
wait.
from Interstellar.
What's that Tom Cruise movie? Minority Report.
Oh,
Where
man.
he just plucks stuff out of thin air and manipulates it on an imaginary board in front of him. So I work in school improvement, and I'm handling multiple campuses across the state of Texas, which is a huge state. And some of these schools have multiple improvement components going on all at the same time. They have all these initiatives and activities and quarterly goals and annual goals. I want my Minority Report board so that I can figure out what is going on.
I have to
I
admit,
think we have what is it called? It's like a table. It's not on the wall, but it's just a huge table with touchscreen on them. Yeah.
I want that.
you want like the one that's in midair.
midair.
That freaks me
I
out. That
just
movie.
wanna move that
I remember that
stuff
part
around.
in that movie. This is a spoiler a little bit, but like it was like the internet spam age of the '90s was in the future, where like. Remember they were scanning your retina and it
Yes.
would literally go into your consciousness, all these ads.
That's fine.
So okay.
I'm actually
you're
okay
you're willing
with
to
that.
trade that off.
Only because of what I'm doing right now at work.
Yes.
Now, if you caught me on at a different time at a different job, I might stand up and protest. I have no idea. But right now, I'd be okay with that. Please dump it into my brain. That's fine.
Nice.
Okay, so we spoke about artificial intelligence and how it can turn against, robots can turn against us. So another thing to watch out for in Interstellar is how the robot is designed, and even how the artificial intelligence is designed. Even though artificial intelligence is, it has this reputation of being, we cannot control it, it can turn against humanity. But there is also another possibility of artificial intelligence being everything that we want it to be. And that's captured amazingly in this film. And, so that's something to look out for.
Like that it's a good robot, that you mean? Good, yes. Artificial intelligence that is good, and it is for the humanity. Right, that it helps humanity survive.
Yes.
Rather than destroys it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yes.
I'm glad that we can imagine both futures.
Yes.
So there was a movie called The Martian.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
With what's his face?
face?
Born Identity.
Yeah, the same guy who got last. Okay, yes.
The guy who was
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Yeah. Clearly, I haven't written down all my notes.
Right. Yeah.
But like that came out a little while ago.
It
was
came
based
out
on a
after
book.
Interstellar,
Yeah.
and I was pissed that he was stuck in space again, and we have the same.
But it's not the same movie, and
It's not, yeah.
it's also not as dark. Well, I don't know. It's dark, but not as dark. And I feel like the manner in which problems are solved were way more detailed, I guess, than in Interstellar. I kind of appreciated that. For me, as an engineer or a scientist, I could be like, oh, I could actually see him calculating out how much oxygen is left inside his tank, or calculating out how much fertilizer he needs to make.
With the processes up front,
Yes.
I think.
And it was kind of cool.
It was,
I think that's
it
why
was
the book
openly
was
exposed.
famous. Yeah, the book was famous because of that specific part in my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the guy had a sense of humor as well. He wasn't like
True.
this brooding nerd or something like that.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think one of the most profound, lasting, simple, accessible, far-reaching examples of engineering as it was brought to America, and people are going to laugh their butts off when I say this, but I think they'll also agree, MacGyver.
Yes.
MacGyver.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, you are so missing
So
out.
Rachel, how would you
Watch
explain?
all of them.
How do you explain MacGyver to someone like Sadhan who was not here in the 80s?
So, well, first of all, he's got some vague, sketchy job with the U.S. government.
TV
Oh,
show.
it's a film.
It's
okay,
a TV show.
Okay.
It's a series,
okay,
and
yeah.
it lasted like, I don't know, 5 or 6
Yeah.
years. Like,
Yeah.
it was a
Okay.
long time. So, there's this guy, MacGyver. He only ever goes by one name, and he has this job with the government, and nobody knows what the job is. But he travels all over the world, basically saving people's lives.
And defusing
essentially,
bombs and
with a bubblegum wrapper
That's-
and a salt shaker.
that's the classic
Or-
joke. He
Yeah.
always uses a bubblegum wrapper and like a piece of
Well,
twine.
like one time
to,
he
like-
was getting refugees out of a war-torn area, and there was something wrong with the radio, and he pulls out his Swiss Army knife and he turns a couple of screws, and it fixes the gain on the radio so it doesn't sound bad, but also, not only can we have great radio signal in, we can transmit out. And you're like, what? That's a radio from like 1957. Doesn't matter. He's sending signals, and all these refugees are hopping on a train and they're getting their butts out of this dangerous place. Swiss Army knife and a screw. Plus, there was a wedding in
Okay,
that
that's like
episode.
stretching sci-fi to beyond limits.
Fantasy.
No, but a lot. That's the thing. Was a lot. Most of the experiments that they were running, it was very much like MythBusters, because they're doing simple engineering that's real to solve an in-the-moment problem. They're not solving grand societal problems. They're not solving problems that are going to impact an entire nation, or it's not going to solve a problem across decades, but we need something fixed beyond a light bulb or a broken window or something like that. We have to actually fix an entire thing For example, we're stuck on a train in the middle of the desert and we need to get a radio signal out. What can we do?
So it's a smaller scale kind of thing.
But they were actual engineering problems, and they had engineers and scientists on staff who were advising the script writers and the directors that,
so it's
no,
a
you
scientifically
really can't
accurate.
do this.
Okay, it's scientifically
Yeah,
accurate.
I mean, I'm sure there was some license taken.
Okay.
It was still a work of fiction, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was never,
So it's not like Mythbusters then, because Mythbusters.
Right, so they're not running an actual experiment because it's a work of fiction.
Right,
It's a fictional TV series.
Gotcha.
During, like must-see TV or Thursday primetime or
it was
Friday
on,
primetime, I
on
forget.
network TV, so
I think it was NBC.
it's pretty
I don't
iconic.
remember.
Like most Americans at that time know of it, and so
is
it's
it
really
like
interesting.
more like the show kind of created this idea that you can use technology to solve problems?
More like
It was more
engineering
like
to solve
accessible.
Ingenuity.
Ingenuity is accessible,
Okay.
and that normal people can become really
kinda get it. I kinda get it. I kinda get what you're
problem
saying.
solvers.
Gotcha.
I gotta say, as a kid, when I had seen that show, and I used to watch it with my family, it was like, as a kid, I didn't understand it, and it might as well have been magic, actually, for a lot of it. And so I always thought it was cool, though, what he had done, and he was portrayed as like a cool guy kind of
he's
thing.
just a regular
Solo
guy.
kind of
Right, as opposed to another
he didn't,
nerd
he
or
wasn't
something.
a nerd with a pocket protector, sitting isolated, doing math, like the typical image that
Spider-Man
we've
is
had
nerd?
for a long.
Well, actually, speaking of Spider-Man, I mean that's a whole other story. We should do an episode on these other
You guys are
types
gonna
of
have to
movies.
have like 2 or 3
I
sci-fi
know.
episodes.
I mean,
can see
Spider-Man,
this
he
coming.
built like the.
He's
what
a
do you
smart
call it?
person.
Yeah, he built his own web shooter.
I actually really like that movie, and the beauty of that movie is, at least in, I forget which one, the one with, oh god, well, one of them
I've only
is
ever
more
seen
relatable.
the first one.
Oh,
We're talking about the first one.
is it the first one? Yeah,
Tobey
they make him
Maguire.
more of a human.
Tobey Maguire, yeah,
Tobey
yeah.
Maguire. I'm horrible with actors' names, but yes.
So I don't know. MacGyver was. I was always interested in the sciences as a kid. My mom has a bachelor's in science, and so I had intimate exposure to it. But MacGyver made doing some really what seemed to me to be technical things easier and accessible, and I understood a lot of what he was doing. I was taking physics and chemistry at the time, and he would explain things. You would hear the narrative as the actor was doing it on screen. You would hear his voice explaining what he was doing. And sure, there were liberties taken, but the science and engineering that they were explaining was, in most cases, at least theoretically real and applicable.
Got it, yeah.
And it made hard things so simple. It was basically a lot of kind of like Khan Academy or YouTube lessons before any of that was available to a
Do it
kid
yourself?
like me. Yeah. I mean,
I kinda
we
get the
didn't
vibe
have
of
the
it,
internet
yeah.
then.
It does sound cool.
So-
Yeah. I don't have anything in comparison.
You're gonna
I can
have to
say.
go look this up.
I'm
And they
pretty certain
tried
it's,
to reboot it, and they made MacGyver a
They
woman.
should
I
do
think.
one
Oh, I
now.
didn't know that.
Well,
That would
they
be-
did.
Ah.
It was released last year or the year before.
Really?
but
I haven't heard of it, so it wasn't very
never
good.
Never gained
Well, at least
traction.
Bill Nye-
It wasn't super popular.
Bill Nye, the science
Bill
guy, is
Nye,
coming
the
up with another
science
one.
guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
yes, he is.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that, but yeah.
But he's coming up with another one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to add one small moment. I saw the new Beauty and the Beast lately. Did any of you see this?
I have not.
There's
I'm dying to.
So, spoiler alert again.
Well, isn't her father an engineer and
His
an
father's
inventor?
an inventor,
Right?
And they carried that over into Belle this time a
Good.
little bit in the beginning.
Oh.
There's a little scene where I was watching, like, oh, what's she building? What's she building? I'm like, oh, she's building that, and then it very quickly turns sad. But that's okay. It's a good scene.
That's awesome.
The movie itself is another episode.
Wait, Beauty
But
and the Beast is another episode.
as in
And
like
Interstellar doesn't get
more
another
like
episode?
no, more like I didn't like it that much.
Aw.
That's what I'll say.
But we'll
that
talk about
one
the
scene.
engineering part of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I could say. Interstellar, we could talk about as well, and I have lots of thoughts about
Okay,
that.
so can I share one
Yes.
one last thing?
About Interstellar.
Not about Interstellar,
Oh, okay.
but about films.
Yes.
Right. So I was reading about this film, sci-fi films, the worst sci-fi films ever. And they were talking about, there was this one reviewer, he's also like a science, he has an engineering degree or he has a master's in something. So he was talking about how there were certain films that happened in the 60s that were absolutely terrible when it comes to its science part.
Oh, of course.
But they were still acceptable because the technology of filmmaking was not that
sure.
good.
Yeah, we didn't have the technology to do certain things in a film.
Yes. And compared to now, when you have all the technological advancement in filmmaking itself, that will allow you to capture anything that you want to do in sci-fi arena as accurately as possible. So it's kind of like a mark that it's like, if there is any inaccuracies in sci-fi movies, there's nobody to blame other than the filmmakers.
Yeah, and in a way, I don't mind the inaccuracy. I love the inaccuracy sometimes. Not even inaccuracy, but imagination. Because it's like, why should they always get it right? Why make? Otherwise, you're making a documentary. You know, I want to see a vision of the future that's not robots killing me. Yeah. You had said a long time ago that engineering is about what if or something.
Oh no, I'm talking about fallacy. Something like what's the example? Simple example.
Like wrong science.
Just directly.
No, I get it. Okay, I get it.
Not the creativity part of it, not the fantasy part of it.
Yeah.
You just get everything, that part wrong. So.
No. Okay, good point. I get it. Well, thank you, Sadhan. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Pius.
And thank you for listening to our casual talk on movies and TV for engineering. And send us your own comments.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Oh, I can't wait to read these. Because I'm sure we left something out.
We left a lot.
We left a lot out. So Sadhan's going to have part 2 and part 3 next time.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Sounds good.
Yes. Take care.
Thanks.
You can find out more about the films and shows that we mentioned today if you check out the show notes for this episode. Remember to follow the show on Twitter at K12 Engineering, and you can follow me at Pius Wong. Follow the show on Facebook, iTunes, SoundCloud, and everywhere else on the internet. All the details are at www.k12engineering.net. Our closing music is from Late for School by Bleep Tour under a Creative Commons Attribution license. The K12 Engineering Education Podcast is a production of my independent studio, Pius Labs, and you can support me at www.patreon.com/Pius Labs. Hey, post-show note from Pius. I just wanted to let you know that I have put out a second new podcast available on iTunes called Engineering Word of the Day. And every episode is going to be a short episode, much shorter than the episodes in this podcast. It's easier for me to do and hopefully easier for you to listen to. And it's exactly what it sounds like. If you want to brush up on your engineering vocabulary or on your engineering concepts, subscribe, tune in, follow Engineering Word of the Day, not only on iTunes, but on Facebook. And let me know how this goes. This is basically another podcast experiment. And if people like it, I will try to continue doing it. It's very soon going to also be on Stitcher, Google Play, Player FM, TuneIn, your Amazon Alexa, and on Mars and on Jupiter. But, we'll cross those bridges when we get there. Thanks for listening.